Oh no! I made a mistake. I typed the wrong phone number and clicked save before checking. Hey, my friends, I'm Emma, and I've got a story you're going to love. Do you remember your very first day at work? The nerves, the excitement, not knowing what to expect? I remember mine like it was yesterday. Everything was new. The place, the people, and the things I had to do. In this video, I'll tell you all about it, step by step. I'll speak slowly, use simple English, and explain everything clearly so you can understand. This story is perfect for learning English. You'll hear real-life English, the kind people use every day. You'll hear useful new words and phrases, follow the subtitles, and even repeat some sentences with me. By the end, you'll feel more confident, more fluent, talking about your own experiences too. Are you ready to learn with me? Let's go back to that morning together. I woke up early, very early. It was still dark outside. My alarm rang at 6 a.m. and I jumped out of bed. I didn't want to be late. It was my first day at work, and I wanted everything to go perfectly. I brushed my teeth, then I washed my face with cold water. It helped me feel more awake. After that, I took a quick shower. The water was warm, and it made me feel relaxed. But I didn't have much time, so I didn't stay long. I picked out my clothes the night before. A white shirt and black pants. Simple and professional. I wanted to make a good first impression. I also chose a small silver necklace. Nothing too fancy, just something nice. In the kitchen, I made a cup of coffee. I usually drink tea, but that morning I needed something stronger. I also made toast with butter and a boiled egg. I couldn't eat much because I was nervous, but I knew I needed some energy. I sat at the table and tried to calm down. I took small bites and sipped my coffee slowly. While I was eating, I kept looking at the clock. I didn't want to be late. I checked my bag twice. Phone, wallet, keys, notebook, pen, and lunch. I also added a bottle of water and some tissues, just in case. Everything was ready. Before I left, I stood in front of the mirror. I fixed my hair and checked my smile. Then I told myself, you can do this. Just smile, listen, and be friendly. I took a deep breath and opened the door. The air outside was cool. I looked at the sky. It was slowly getting lighter. And with that, my morning routine was finished. It was time to go to work. The bus stop was only 5 minutes from my house. I walked quickly. My hands were cold, and my heart was still beating fast. I checked the time on my phone again and again. I didn't want to miss the bus. When I arrived at the stop, the bus was already there. I almost ran to catch it. The driver smiled at me, and I said good morning. I tapped my card, found a seat near the window, and sat down. The bus was quiet. People were reading, listening to music, or just looking out the window. I looked out too, but I wasn't really seeing anything. My mind was busy. I was thinking about the office, the people, the new things I had to learn. The streets were still a little dark, but the city was waking up. Shops were opening, lights were turning on, and more people were coming outside. I looked at them and thought, maybe they're going to work too. As the bus moved through the city, I tried to remember what I read about my company. I knew the name of my manager. I knew the name of the company. I even practiced saying, "Hello, my name is Emma. Nice to meet you," over and over in my head. It was a short ride, maybe 20 minutes, but it felt long. Finally, I heard the name of my stop. The bus slowed down. I stood up, held the rail, and waited for the doors to open. "This is it," I said to myself. I stepped off the bus and looked around. Tall buildings, many people walking fast, and so much noise. I checked the address on my phone, looked around, and saw it. My new office building. I took one more deep breath and started walking toward the door. I stood in front of the building for a few seconds. It was tall and modern, with big glass windows. People were walking in and out quickly. Everyone looked busy. I took a deep breath and walked inside. The lobby was bright and clean. There was a large desk near the entrance with a security guard sitting behind it. I smiled and said, "Good morning. I'm starting work today."
Good morning. Let me check the list. Yes, here you are.
Great.
Here's your visitor's pass. Take the elevator to the 5th floor.
Thank you. I walked to the elevator and pressed the button. The elevator doors opened. I stepped in and pressed the number 5. My hands were sweating. I took another deep breath and tried to stay calm. When I got to the 5th floor, the doors opened to a bright hallway. There was a receptionist sitting at a desk. She looked up and smiled. "Hi there. Can I help you?" "Yes, I'm Emma. Today is my first day." "Oh, welcome, Emma. We've been expecting you." "Thank you. I'm a little nervous, but I'm excited too." "Don't worry, that's normal. Everyone feels that way on their first day." "That's good to hear. I'll take you to meet your manager. She'll help you get started." "Great. Thank you so much." "You're welcome, Emma. Come with me. You'll be fine." We walked through the office together. We stopped at a small office. A woman stood up and walked toward me. "Hi, Emma. I'm Sarah, your manager. It's so nice to meet you." "Nice to meet you too," I said, trying to sound confident. Sarah showed me to my desk. It was simple: a computer, a chair, and some papers. "This is your spot," she said. "You can put your things here." I sat down slowly. I looked around at my new workspace and the people nearby. Everything felt big and a little scary. But Sarah smiled and said, "Don't worry, we'll go step by step." And in that moment, I felt a little better. I was in. My first job. My first office. And the day had only just begun. Sarah gave me a short tour of the office. She showed me where the kitchen was, the bathrooms, the meeting rooms, and even the emergency exit. Everything looked clean and organized. People were sitting at their desks, typing, talking on the phone, or reading papers. After the tour, we returned to my desk. Sarah said, "Okay, Emma, let's start with something easy." That made me feel better. She gave me a folder and said, "These are new client forms. We need them typed into the system." She showed me how to log in, where to find the forms on the computer, and how to enter the information. She even did the first one with me. Then she smiled and said, "Now it's your turn." My hands were shaking a little. I opened the first form and started typing. Slowly, carefully, I checked every word. I didn't want to make a mistake. I typed the client's name, phone number, email address, and notes. Then I clicked Save. Done. One down, many more to go. I looked at Sarah. She gave me a thumbs up. "Great job," she said. I smiled. That small moment made me feel more confident. I continued typing. After about 30 minutes, Sarah came back. She said, "How's it going?" "Good," I said. "I've finished 6 forms." "Wow, that's great. Keep going and let me know if you need help." For a while, I worked quietly. I heard people talking around me, but I didn't join in. I just focused on the forms. But then I made a mistake. I typed the wrong phone number and clicked save before checking. "Oh no," I whispered. I didn't know what to do. Should I tell Sarah? Would she be angry? I took a deep breath and stood up. I walked to her desk and said, "I'm sorry, I made a mistake on one of the forms. I saved the wrong phone number." She looked at me and said, "That's okay, Emma. Mistakes happen. Let me show you how to fix it." She walked with me back to my desk and showed me how to edit the entry. It was easy. I fixed the mistake in less than a minute. "See," she said, "you asked for help and now it's done." I smiled again. I felt proud. Not because I was perfect, but because I asked for help and I learned something new. Later that morning, a coworker walked by and said, "Hey, new girl, you're doing great." I laughed a little and said, "Thank you." Another person brought me a cup of water and said, "It's your first day, right? You've got this." That small kindness made my day even better. By noon, I had entered 20 forms. I looked at the clock and realized the whole morning had passed. I felt tired, but also happy. I was working. I was learning. I was part of something, and I was doing okay. At noon, Sarah came to my desk and said, "Time for lunch, Emma. You can take a break now." I looked at the time and smiled. I had worked for 4 hours without even noticing. I stood up, stretched a little, and grabbed my lunch from my bag. I wasn't sure where to go, but I remembered the kitchen Sarah showed me earlier. I walked there slowly, not knowing what to expect. When I entered, a few people were already there, eating, chatting, laughing softly. I sat at an empty table and opened my lunchbox. I had packed a sandwich, an apple, and a bottle of water. Simple, but enough. Just as I took my first bite, someone walked over to me. "Hi, you're new, right?" she said. I looked up and smiled. "Yes, I'm Emma. Today is my first day." She smiled back. "Nice to meet you, Emma. I'm Lisa. I work in marketing. Can I sit here? Of course, I said, happy to not eat alone. We started talking. Lisa asked me where I lived, what I studied, and what department I was in. I answered slowly, trying to be clear. She spoke clearly too, which helped a lot. Talking with her made me feel more relaxed. It was nice to speak with someone my age. She even made a joke about getting lost on her first day, just like I almost did. During lunch, we talked about music, favorite foods, and what people usually do after work. Lisa said, "Sometimes we go for coffee after work. You should come one day." I nodded. That sounds fun. Before I left, Lisa said, "If you ever need anything, just ask me." The afternoon went by faster than I expected. After lunch, Sarah gave me a few more tasks. I had to print documents, organize folders, and send my first work email. She helped me write the email. It was simple, but I felt proud when I clicked send. My first real email at work. As the hours passed, I started to feel more comfortable. I wasn't so nervous anymore. I began to remember some names: Lisa, John, Sarah, and a few others. I even said hi to a few people on my own. That small step felt big to me. When the clock showed 5 p.m., people started packing up. Computers turned off, chairs moved, and bags zipped. The office became quiet again. I packed my things and stood up. Lisa waved at me from her desk and said, "See you tomorrow." I replied, "See you," feeling like I truly belonged there. As I walked out of the building, the sun was lower in the sky. The streets were full again. People going home, meeting friends, or shopping. But I wasn't just another face in the crowd anymore. I was an office worker. I had finished my first day. So that was my first day at work. It wasn't perfect. I made mistakes. I felt nervous. But I also learned a lot, met kind people, and took the first step in something new. And that's what really matters. If you're learning English, I hope my story helped you practice listening and learn some useful words and phrases. Real English comes from real stories, and this one was mine. I believe that learning English should feel personal and fun, and stories like this make learning easier, more natural, and more real. Maybe one day you'll share your story too. What was your first day at work like? Was it steak and fix it, just like I did? Write a comment below in English. Even one sentence is great. Practice is the key. Don't be afraid to try. I believe in you, and every small step counts. And if you enjoyed this story and want to keep learning English with me, don't forget to like this video and subscribe to the channel. There are many more stories coming soon, stories to help you grow, learn, and feel confident in English. Thank you for listening to my first day at work. Now, what will your story be?